Miami Beach Mayor Phil Levine, who has spent a good amount of time with us in the last couple of days. Mayor, you are calling Irma. You had called it a nuclear hurricane, saying this potentially could be the big one. Are you still as concerned as you were, even though the storm track has shifted west?
Absolutely as concerned, because right now we're getting some outer bands. I see there's trees down around the beach, and it's only just begun. But as you can imagine, it's not necessarily about the storm and the wind force. It's about the tidal surge. We're very concerned about that because we're a low-lying barrier island. You know, I called it a nuclear hurricane because, God, you saw what it's done in the Caribbean, and we just hope to God it doesn't happen that way in Florida.
Mayor,
so right now,
where are you right now?
We're about to go into City Hall right now, and I'm actually going to be hunkering down at City Hall with the city manager and a few other people. We think it's one of the best places for us to be.
You got 91,000 people in Miami Beach. You said you've done everything you possibly can up to this point to assist with evacuations. What about the people who have dug in and refused to leave? What's your message for them now?
Well, my message to them is stay safe, stay away from windows, and of course, if it gets very, very hairy, I suggest you go into a stairwell. But once again, wind force is important, but it's really about the tidal surge, so I hope some of them are on a higher floor. We just don't want to see a situation where the tides come up to 5, 10, 15 feet, God forbid.
I'm sure everyone will
be fine. What's the status of the shelters in Miami Beach? Are there any left that are open, that have space?
So we don't have shelters on Miami Beach. What we have done all week is provide free buses and trolleys to get everybody and anybody to the city of Miami across the bridge to go to shelters. There's multiple shelters there. Shelters that accept pets, shelters for disabled, shelters for seniors, and there is obviously still space available. But at this point, there's no more going to shelters. You got to hunker in where you are at this point. And I just, I think the key here, of course, is everybody understanding that, up on the west coast of Florida, whether it's Fort Myers or Tampa or St. Petersburg, I hope that storm doesn't come. But listen, it's a little bit like, Pearl Harbor. I mean, the only difference is that we know the enemy's coming.
Right.
So why not protect yourself? And I think that's the message the governor is giving, and it's a very true message. And it's the right message.
And we appreciate the consistency with which the governor has come on TV, it seems almost hourly, to give that message. And you yourself, sir, have joined us and I know other networks to get this message out to say, do not fool around generally, but if you live on a barrier island in Florida, really don't fool around, because there could be infrastructure problems that are going to prevent help from getting to you and help getting you back to your homes. Mayor, your infrastructure, though, is okay, right? Your connections to Miami are new and solid.
Absolutely. So far, so good. Everything seems fine, and I can tell you everyone is off the roads. There's no one in sight. Our curfew is in place. But at a certain point, as you know, our first responders will no longer be out and offering any public service. And that's the most important thing, why it's crucial for everyone to stay inside.
But people do have power.
Well, we've started to lose power on parts of Miami Beach. It's gone off. It's gone on. It's different sections of the beach are experiencing power loss. But at this point right now, it's not a full outage all over the beach. It's only certain pockets are on and off.
Mayor, just to be clear, for people who are experiencing the images that we're seeing about Miami right now, who say, uh-oh, I thought I was going to dodge this, now I need to get out. That is not an option right now. You do not recommend anybody attempt to leave their properties.
Absolutely not. Stay where you are, hunker down, and do the best you can. The opportunity to get to a shelter down in Miami is kind of past at this point. We recommend you stay in place. And I think around the state of Florida, they have more opportunity on the pathway of this vicious storm. And they, of course, should go into a shelter, protect yourself, protect your life. It's the most important thing.
What's your biggest concern right now?
Well, our biggest concern right now is just to make sure that no one literally goes out before the storm hits, because they look at it now and they think, well, this is it. This must be nothing, but that's not the case. The brunt of the storm will be hitting Miami Beach, we think, late in the evening, early morning Sunday, and it should be happening all day. They should not venture out. They should stay where they are.
Mayor Philip Levine, thank you for continuing to keep your people and the nation informed about what's going on in Miami Beach. We'll stay close to you. Mayor Philip Levine of Miami Beach.
Please stay safe. We're now joined by Jose Lopez. He is riding out the storm in Miami in a high-rise that has turned into a shelter helping elderly neighbors. Jose joins us now by phone. Jose, give us an update where you are.
I'm in my neighbor's apartment, the 11th floor, Collins Avenue at 72nd Street. It's a 20-story high-rise, and I tried to get these neighbors of mine. They were very good friends of my late parents, and I have an apartment on the 14th floor, which my parents left me and my sister. I had a scheduled trip down here. When I saw the hurricane was going to hit, I had been in touch with them, and they were begging me to come down, so I just kept my schedule. I flew down here on Thursday. And I had every intention of convincing them to get in my car, my rental car, which I rented an extra large car, and leave. Well, they refused. She's in a wheelchair.
Wow.
He's in a walker. And they have their entire kitchen stacked to the ceiling with food. I mean, there's non-perishable food. They pretty much were depending on me to come down here and help them out, and that's exactly what I did. And I'm here.
Okay,
I'm watching the...
That's very good.
Talk us through the apartment building. Are there other people in the building? When you started this, the high-rise sounded like it's a bit of a makeshift shelter. Who else is there?
There are about, from what I've seen, out of, it's a 20-story building, 21-story building. There are about 14 units per floor. I'd say about a third of the residents are still here. From what I've seen in the lobby, I went down to the shelter today because it's on the pool deck, and I wanted to take some photographs, which I took. The wind was howling, but it wasn't intense. I'm a 200-pound man. It didn't knock me down or anything. There are 2 rooms downstairs that have been turned into makeshift shelters. They are completely sealed off from the outside. They have the medics down there that's just there in case anybody needs him. And they have plenty of water. And the building has its own power plant.
Why did so many people stay? A third of the building and so many senior citizens.
I think they were just afraid of leaving and seeing what was out there. There is a block from here on Abbott and 71st Street, there are 2 gas stations. When I drove in from the airport Thursday morning at like 5:30 in the morning, I saw a fist fight erupt right in front of my car in the intersection.
A fist fight?
A fist fight between 2 people that were, I think one tapped the other one because they were trying to cut each other off to get into one of the gas stations.
Wow.
So seeing the condition that this couple is in and seeing what could potentially be out there running out of gas on a gridlocked expressway, I thought the best thing to do, not to be a burden on the state, is just to hunker down.
Right.
And that's exactly what we've done, and it's worked out for us so far.
Yeah, well, you've got food and you've got meds, so that's good.
But what if they need medical attention? What are you going to do?
What
You
were
could
they
be
going to do
without
without me?
power.
I mean, I'm not... They don't need power they don't depend on electricity for any of their medical needs. What I said to them was,